Assalamu alaikum. I am Luqman Qaida and this is �ْ Academy. In today's episode, inshallah, we will discuss an important group of letters which are ta, dal and ta. We will know their points of articulation and what is the difference between them. So, stay tuned.
�ْ Academy.
This is just to remind you that we are explaining using Al-Minhaj book, the official book of �ْ Academy. So, as we said, we will now discover the difference between the three letters, okay, that have these three letters have the same point of articulation. So, let's get into it. So, the three letters is ta, dal and ta. Ta, dal and ta. These three letters have the same point of articulation. What is it? Let's discover it. The top side of the tip of the tongue and the gums of front two upper incisors. So the top side of the tip of the tongue, if we divide this tongue into three main parts, so we have the head part, which is the first part, and we have the middle part, and we have the back part, okay? So the tip of the tongue is the first part of the head part of the tongue, okay, which is this tongue, okay? So this is the head part and the middle part and the back part. The tip part is the first part of the head part, okay? So this tip of the tongue, the top side of it, the top side of the tip of the tongue and the gums of front two upper incisors. At, so these three letters have the same point of articulation, which is the top side of the tip of the tongue touches the gums of front two upper incisors. So the question arises now, what is the difference between them? Okay, first of all, the difference between ta and dal, okay, is the vibration of the vocal cords, okay, the vibration of the vocal cords. So when we pronounce a dal, we will find that the vocal cords is vibrated, so this letter is called a voiced letter. But when we pronounce a ta, this is called the vibration of the vocal cords is not the vocal cords is not vibrated. Ta, at, da, ta. You can't touch the vocal cords to feel that. And this is something called in التجويد or مخارج الحروف الجهر والهمس, and we will discuss this further in detail in the part 3 inshallah of this book. So الجهر and الهمس. الهمس not vibration or the less vibration of the vocal cords, but الجهر is the strong vibration of the vocal cords. So at ta, no vibration of the vocal cords. At dal, there is a vibration of the vocal cords. At dal is voiced letter. At ta is voiceless. Okay, so in Arabic, in Arabic points of articulation, they called al-jahr al-hams. In English phonetics, they call voiced and voiceless. So you have now the two names of the two branches of knowledge. In Arabic, the points of articulation or makharij al-huruf, and English in the phonetics. Okay, the first part, the first letter is the letter ta. So now we said the difference between letter ta and letter dal. So let's now discover the difference between letter ta and letter ta. Okay, the letter ta, the only difference between letter ta and letter ta is the heaviness and lightness, which means that letter T is a light letter and letter T is a heavy letter. What does that mean? It means that the back of the tongue is raised when we pronounce letter T, because we said before that if the back of the tongue is raised, this letter will be heavy. But if the back of the tongue is not raised, this letter will be light. So heaviness and lightness deal with the back of the tongue. If it's raised, it will be heavy. If it's not raised, it will be light. So the back of the tongue is raised when we pronounce letter T, and this what makes a letter T heavy, and not raised when we pronounce letter T, and this what we make letter T light. And also this is something called in Arabic الاستعلاء والاستفال. الاستعلاء means the back of the tongue is raised. الاستفال means the back of the tongue is not raised. So this is the difference between letter T and letter Dal, and also the difference between letter T and letter Ta. So to summarize this, letter T, the difference between letter T and letter Dal is al-jahru wal-hams, the voiced, the letter Dal is voiced, letter T is voiceless, and the difference between letter T and letter Ta, the heaviness and lightness. Letter T is a light letter, the back of the tongue is not raised. Letter Ta is a heavy letter, the back of the tongue is raised. So now we came to the end of this episode. Inshallah, in the next episode we will discuss another group and we will clarify the difference between each letter. سبحانك اللهم وبحمدك أشهد أن لا إله إلا أنت نستغفرك ونتوب إليك. If you have any question, just let me know in the comment section below. See you. Now we came to the end of this episode. So if you want to follow up the next episodes, consider subscribing. Also, if you want a qualified Quran tutor, whether for yourself or your kids, we are providing online Quran classes. Don't forget to check out our app. See you inshallah in the next episode. Assalamu alaikum.
Shaykhi Academy. Learn and enjoy.